Hello everyone and welcome to the Arbor Farm. Thank you for joining us for today's episode where I want to share with you how to start seeds using the winter sowing method. Let's get started. So it is the dead of winter here in Zone 6 in southern Michigan. It's about mid-February and the temperatures outside are still not getting above freezing during the day and sometimes still in the single digits at night. So just to give you a feel for the weather, the perfect time to do winter sowing is obviously in the winter. And so it's suggested the best time, the optimal time to start seeds using this method is between December 22nd, which is the first day of winter, and then spring. So usually in the first part of March. So that is the ideal time to use this method to sow seeds. And now I want to talk to you about exactly what supplies you'll need and the process that is done. We like winter sowing because it's an economical way to start seeds. You don't have to have a greenhouse, but you can still plant your seeds in the middle of winter and give them a jump start before the weather outside gets really nice. So we like to use milk jugs, and the ones that are a bit translucent are the ideal ones because the sunlight can somewhat penetrate through those and warm them just like a greenhouse. So if you have a milk jug that's white and you cannot see through it, that's not what you want. Don't use that. If you are in a place that you don't have easy access to milk jugs, you might try your local coffee shop. Sometimes they will save some for their community if you just say, hey, call them up, tell them what you're doing, and then usually they're more than happy to save them for you. But if you don't have access to milk jugs, Ziploc bags can also be used, or juice containers, just anything that has that translucent ability, is somewhat thick, and would allow you to plant some seeds in some dirt inside of it. I'm gonna turn my camera around here and then show you the step-by-step process, a few other minor tools that usually are a part of most households. So let's get started with planting some seeds. Today I'm going to be sowing Echinacea. It's a perennial, and perennials are really good seeds to winter sow because they need that cold stratification. So anything that's labeled a perennial is usually great to winter sow from seed. Seeds that would not be good for winter sowing are ones like sunflowers, zinnias. They generally need just the warmth. They don't need that cold stratification. So those are ones that you want to save and just direct plant when the weather gets warm. But let's take a look at planting our Echinacea today. Here are the Echinacea seeds, and we've just saved these from our plants from last year. So we're gonna use these. I've also got a pitcher of just plain water and some potting soil. So just plain old potting soil. You don't need seed starting mix or anything like that. Just regular potting soil is good because it's nice and fluffy and retains the moisture, but at the same time provides good drainage. So the first thing I'm going to do is create some drain holes here in my milk jug that I'm going to use. And you might notice I have this labeled with a number 4, and I intend to save these jugs for use again in the future. So I'm just labeling them with a number, and then on a separate sheet of paper I keep track of what I put in each jug by its number. So here we go. The first thing we need to do is put some drain holes in the bottom of our jug. And so I just use a drill and create some drain holes in the bottom. The other factor is we're going to keep the lid off of our milk jugs, just like all of these that you see here in the background. This allows the rain and the snow to get in, so it keeps moisture on our seeds, and then they can drain out the bottom. So let's cut this jug open so that we can go ahead and plant our seedlings. We like to keep like 3 or 4 inches of space so that the seedlings can develop good roots. And so I cut right below the handle on the milk jug and just go all the way around. The other thing I like to do is keep a nice little hinge right here. That's optional. If you want to cut yours all the way apart and separate it completely, you can do just that. So here I have my place to plant, and I'm going to go ahead and get started planting. To plant my seeds, I'm going to add some potting soil. And again, fill that about 3 or 4 inches full, so that my seeds have the best potential of forming roots. So I'm gonna fill that right up here. And then I'm going to add my seeds. So this is my Echinacea that I've saved, and I'm just gonna crumble these seeds off into my growing medium. You can see that I have plenty of seeds on there. These are nice and dried, so they flake off really well as far as the seeds are concerned. And I'll just give you a close-up. That's what Echinacea looks like that I've dried and saved off the plant from last season. Gonna add some water to make the soil nice and moist. You can see that it's already beginning to drain out the bottom, so that's good. You don't want to make it so wet that it looks like swamp water, but you want it nice and moist so the seeds can begin to germinate. So I'm going to add a little more soil on the top. And then I'm ready to close this up. We like to use duct tape to close up our jugs. Some people use painter's tape and other things, but it just helps to keep the environment nice and warm inside for the seeds. And so we take that step and seal off that cut that we made. So there we go, our jug is all sealed off and ready to go. We just keep this on the sunny side, the south side of our house. But you want to find a nice sunny place to store it and to watch it grow. So I'm going to go ahead and place this in the row with our other seeds that we are starting, and just let it sit there through the rain and the snow and the freezing temperatures and the warmer temperatures, and that's exactly what it needs. So let's do just a brief recap. When is the great time, the perfect time to winter sow? And that's between the first day of winter and the first day of spring. So any time in there is a great time, a window to start seeds. And then the other thing is, what kinds of seeds can you start? Well, the cold, hardy ones are best. Perennials, ones that need the cold stratification. Save the ones that prefer the extremely warm weather to get started, like sunflowers and zinnias, for later. Direct seed those instead of winter sowing them. But just enjoy watching things grow in the winter. So you can see that the sun is out right now, but it's mid-February and it's not even 30 degrees outside right now. We're expecting snow several inches later this week. So do I take those in and keep them warm? No, we want to leave them outside because that's what they need. So just let it snow on them, let it rain on them. If you get a drought, they might need a little bit of water, but once they start growing, you can take the lid off if the frost has passed and grow them out and then transplant them out into your garden. So enjoy. Happy growing. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. Our goal is to always create content that's helpful for you. And if you found today's content helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you can receive notifications as to when the next content is available. And as always, if you have questions or comments, please drop those below, and we love to engage with you. We read every single one. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.